What's up, team Fullest? This is again AmiFullest. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my canal. So today's video, we're going to show you guys how do black girls do basic makeup. This is a question that I've been getting a lot from my friends. And so I thought, you know what, let me come and show you guys how the black girls do basic makeup. Basic makeup is the makeup where you don't want to look like you have too much. It's almost like keeping it natural, no makeup look. That is a basic makeup. So I'm going to show you guys how I do my basic makeup. As you guys can see, I've already done my eyebrow. I use my Makeup Revolution brow kits to do my eyebrow, and I use my concealer, elegant concealer to cut. So now it's time to do our basic makeup. When I do basic makeup, actually I don't use eyeshadows, or if I use eyeshadows, but I don't really use eyeshadows. So what I'm going to take a darker concealer just because I want my eyes to look natural. So I'm gonna take a darker concealer. I'm gonna take this Makeup Revolution concealer. This is in C14. I'm just gonna take a little bit, just a little bit on my eyes, and I'm going to take my brush. I'm just going to blend this into the skin. Just want my eyes to look flawless, but we don't want to have any eyeshadow, just simple, flawless, looking good. This is just a quick, natural look. For me, when I'm doing my basic makeup, it's all about the skin. We want the skin to look flawless and beautiful. So now that I've done that, I'm going to take my setting powder. I'm going to take a brush, and I'm just going to use that to set the concealer so that the concealer does not crease or move around. As you guys can see, this powder is brown enough and it looks very beautiful on the skin. I really like it. You can actually use your setting powder or your contour or your bronzer. You can definitely use it for multi-purpose. It's not all about okay, it's for setting powder and then I'm just going to be using it just to set my face and that's it. I like to definitely play around with products that I have just to see what else can I use this for, what else can this be useful for, if it not only has to do with settings. So now that I have set that, I'm going to take my fluffy brush. This is the bigger one, just to make sure everything is set good as well. So now that is the eyes. As you guys can see, the eyes look very natural. That's it. So now we're going to prime. I'm going to take my Makeup Revolution primer because it's a little bit sunny here and the weather is somehow crazy. I want something that is going to hold my makeup into place. I've also used the Makeup Revolution Oil Control Setting Spray as a primer. I use that before ever using a primer because I have an oily combination skin and I do sweat, so I do use that as well. This is a matte primer, so it just hold everything down really smoothly. And the reason why I like to use Makeup Revolution Oil Control Setting Spray, that is because I also use NYX Born to Glow Liquid Illuminator because I love using liquid illuminator. It makes your makeup look make your skin looks very flawless. So using liquid illuminator underneath your foundation make your skin looks very flawless. And for a basic makeup, that is perfect. You want your skin to look flawless, you want your skin to look beautiful. So now that we've done that, I'm going to take my NYX Born to Glow Liquid Illuminator in Sun Goddess. This is the brown, this is the darker shade. I'm just going to take a little bit, not too much. A little bit go a long way. So I'm just going to take that and I'm going to take my foundation brush and I'm just going to blend that into the skin, and that's going to make my skin looks very flawless underneath my foundation. I'm just going to blend that, and whatever is on the brush, I'm just going to dab that on my forehead don't want to mess up that baby hair. As you guys can see, my skin is already looking flawless. Yes, my skin is already looking very, very beautiful, and love it. If you want, you can actually use a eyeliner to line your eyes. Just if you want to. I don't do that normally. I just like keep it natural and let the attention go to the skin. So now that we have done with the primer and liquid illuminators, you can either use a foundation or a concealer. If you're somebody who is dark skin, you know that dark skin, our skin tone seems to change sometimes. In the winter, some of us get a little bit lighter. In the summer, some of us get a little bit darker, or we do have different colors on our skin, different pigments, different shades. My skin color is not the same everywhere. You guys can see my forehead is a little bit darker, the center of my face is a little bit lighter, my neck is a little bit darker, and the rest of my body is a little bit lighter. So our skin tone has its own color and other things. So you can choose to use a foundation that matches your skin perfectly, or you can choose to use a concealer that matches your skin perfect. So for today's video, I'm going to use concealer. I'm going to use the Makeup Revolution concealer. This is oh, I took the wrong concealer. Yeah, this is the C15 and C16. This is a warmer undertone and this is a neutral undertone. I can definitely mix this together because I do have a warmer undertone, but I can definitely pull out also a neutral undertone. So mixing these two together give me a perfect shade. So I'm just going to take the C15. I'm just going to rub it. The C15 actually is my shade, is the one I normally go for. But because I'm a little bit darker now, so I also use the C16, just, you know. So after rubbing that all over my face, now my face look like a zebra. I'm going to take a little bit of the C16, the warmer undertone. Just a little bit. Drop it. You guys can see the difference. You guys can see how warm and cool is this one. So there's definitely difference on the concealer. I'm going to take my brush and I'm just going to buff this into my skin. You don't want to go like just bounce. Just do a bouncing motion. Just do a bouncing motion so you guys can see how flawless. And the reason why I like to use this, because this is a concealer, so it's like 2-in-1. It helps to hide everything I have on my skin, like if I have blemishes, but my skin is pretty good except for these bumps are on my face here. But I have been using the Colgate toothpaste and that has been really helping me to control this allergic reaction. You know, it's in the summer, so it do get worse whenever the sun is out, and then in the winter it goes back to natural. But I've been using some Colgate toothpaste and girls, that thing has been working miracle. It has been really helping me, and so you guys can see how flawless my skin is looking already. You have to make sure you blend it very, very nice. Make sure you blend it down to your neck so it doesn't look like your neck or your face are neighbors. You want them to look like cousins, at least sisters. You know, same thing with your eyebrow. Your eyebrows are never the same, but you want them to look like sisters or cousins or even neighbors, next neighbors, or two best friends or distant cousin, you know. So after blending all that into the skin, as you guys can see, my skin is looking beautiful. So now we got the skin going. I'm going to take a concealer and I'm going to use that to conceal. I'm going to take my LA Girl concealer. This is in Beautiful Bronze. It's a little bit darker. You can use a lighter concealer if you want to, but I prefer a little bit darker concealer because we want to go for a basic natural makeup. You don't want to look like you've done too much, even though you don't want to talk how many layers of products you have on your skin, but you want to keep it basic. If you don't like that dark under eye, but you can add a more lighter concealer, but I love it like this. Now I'm going to take my sponge and I'm just going to blend that into my skin very softly. I do not like to highlight my forehead just because my forehead is perfect. I feel like my forehead is perfect. It's not big, it's not small, it's perfect. So I don't need to make it bigger. I don't want to. I think I'm okay with the way it is. I don't like to bring my concealer all the way up. If not, that's gonna make my face look wilder. My face is gonna look very, and I don't want that. So we're just gonna keep it natural. So you guys can see the under eye look very natural, but at the same time, it doesn't look like I just wake up from the sleep. My under eyes look awake. It looks beautiful. It looks very, very nice. So now we blend everything. Make sure you blend everything smoothly into the skin. Everything looks beautiful. So now we've done with everything. Now we're going to take a setting powder. You can either compromise, use a darker concealer and a lighter setting powder, or you can use both. It all depends on how you want your makeup to look, but we're going for a basic makeup. So I'm going to take this Makeup Revolution setting powder. This is in Deep Honey. I'm going to be use this one to set my face. This one's a little bit darker, but not like super, super dark, even though it's dark, but it's quite okay. So I'm just going to take that. I'm going to use that to set underneath my eyes. Excuse the crazy face expression. It's my under eyes is so sensitive, so you always look crazy when you touch the under eyes. I always look crazy when I touch my under eyes. I don't know if you guys always have that as well. It's gonna set everywhere where you put the concealer. You're going to try to put a setting powder there. You're gonna try to like contour snatch your nose. So I'm just gonna press the powder into the skin. We're not actually going to bake, just like pressing it into the skin. So now that that is done, we're just gonna leave that. And now we're going to set the face. I'm going to be using the Makeup Revolution setting powder. This is in P15. This is what I'm using to set. This one kind of matches my skin very, very good for the summer, so I kind of like it as well. I'm just going to take my brush. This is a Real Technique brush. The makeup brushes I'm using today is more of the Real Technique or AliExpress, or some are from the Bougie shop if you live in the Netherlands. Some are from the Bougie shop. So yeah. And then I'm just gonna take a little bit. Let's just set. Ooh, you don't want to mess up that baby hair. That baby hair took me much more longer to do than this entire makeup that I'm having on my face. That's how much my baby hair game is. My baby hair game is something else. So now that that is done, I'm going to take what am I going to take? I'm going to take my Morphe bronzer. I'm going to use this to bronze. This is my favorite bronzer, so I'm just going to take a little bit. You don't want to look like you have a lot of makeup. The reason why I like this bronzer, if you want, you can use a blush, but I'm not going to be using any blush. That's because this bronzer is a warm undertone. It has a warm undertone, and this bronzer is actually just made for my skin tone. It was made for me because this bronzer matches my skin so perfectly, and I don't even need to contour. Just add this on my face. Give me that warmness, makes my face look very beautiful, and which I really, really like. Yep. So now that we've done that, I'm going to take this sleek. I took the wrong one. I'm just gonna take this thing here. I'm going to use it to contour my nose just a little bit. Just a little bit. just gonna take this big brush, and please excuse the noise in the background of my kids. Welcome if you're a mother. So now that we've done all of that, we've bronzed, we've done all of that. Ooh, it's hot. So now it's time to do the lip. I'm going to be using a lip gloss, but I'm going to also use a lip liner just because I just can't put a lip gloss without a lip liner. So I'm going to use a Kiko lip liner, and I'm going to use that to line my lip just a little bit. Trying to fill in the bottom lip. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this LA color lipstick. I'm going to take this one, and I'm just going to use that. Use that on my lip. So now it's time to highlight. If you guys hear the noise, a little bit noise in the background, please excuse that. I have to put a little fan on because it is hot, and I didn't want my face to melt, so I had the fan on, so please excuse the noise. I'm going to take my Sunkissed bronzer. This is a shimmery bronzer. So Sunkissed shimmery bronzer. I'm going to use this one to highlight because we don't want to have a lot of stuff. Just take a little bit. I'm gonna put that in the inner corner of my eyes, just a little bit like that. And then just take a little bit on the brow bone, just a little bit. And let's just do a swiping motion. Just do the same thing here. You don't want to dab too much, and then just swipe it backwards like that. So you guys can see what I'm doing. And I'm just going to take a little bit also on my nose, on the tip of my nose, and then on the bridge of my nose right here. I'm going to use my finger to blend this one out, just to smoothen everything. So you see, you want your makeup to look basic but classy. So now I'm going to take my highlighting brush. I'm just going to take a little bit. I'm going to highlight the cheekbone. See, guys, see that? And I like to bring my highlighter all the way up here, just because when the sun hits my face, it's like boom, it's like you understand? That's just how my highlighters. You can do your highlighters the way you want, but you don't want to put a very bright highlighter. You just want to put something simple, something natural. So I also like to highlight my chin like that, just a little bit. So I feel like a highlighter is good right now. As you guys can see, it's popping. It is popping. So excuse the fan, I just had to. So now that all this is done, it's time to set the face. I'm going to be using my Morphe setting spray. So we're going to shake a little bit, and then we're just going to like spray the face. So Team Fullest, this is the finished result. So this is how a black girl do a basic makeup look. Basic but hella classy. Okay, so this is the finished result. I hope you all like this video. If you guys do, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Don't forget to follow me on my Instagram and Facebook like page. All the links will be down in the description box. Do you guys have any question? Let me know in the comment box. For more pictures, follow me on my Instagram, my Facebook like page. Vergeet niet te abonneren als je deze video leuk vindt. En vergeet mij niet te volgen op mijn Instagram en op mijn Facebook pagina. Hoop ik jullie zo snel mogelijk te zien. Team Fullest, Thank you so much for your love and support, and I really appreciate you all. Peace out. Bye.